Hey guys, welcome to Wheels and Wheels. Today I wanted to talk to you about the updated EV tax credits that go into effect after April 18, 2023. These have been updated by the federal government, and I have some really important information to tell you about the vehicles that are eligible now after these changes go into effect starting tomorrow. Today is April 18th. So as you know, the requirements for the EV tax credit have to follow certain guidelines, and part of those guidelines are that the battery has to be bigger than 7 kilowatt hours. The vehicle has to be made in the United States, and its components for the battery and final assembly have to come from US trade partners or made in the USA. So also the manufacturer of the vehicle has to be a qualified manufacturer that submits the information to the federal government to get qualified. What's happened is now after April 18th, the battery components have to be made, and critical components have to be sourced in the US. That was not being required up to now, only that the vehicle had to be made in the USA. So the list of actual electric only vehicles qualified to come up with the EV tax credit has gone down significantly. You're going to be shocked as to the number of vehicles that are only being qualified now. In order to get the $7,500 tax credit, you have to have the vehicle made in the US, and also its sourcing and components for the battery have to be made in the US as well, or partners in the US. It also has to follow the guidelines with the pricing of the vehicle, MSRP for vehicles no higher than $55,000, as well as SUVs no higher than $80,000. And you also have to meet adjusted gross income requirements. Your adjusted gross income also cannot be higher for married couples over $300,000 and for single filers of $150,000. So the vehicles that are eligible now for the EV tax credit are as follows: the Cadillac LYRIQ 23 and 24 model years, the Bolt EUV, the Chevy Blazer, which is a 24 model, as well as the Equinox 24 model, and the Chevy Silverado. Also, the Ford F-150 Lightning is still eligible, and there are some Tesla models that are still eligible, including the Model 3 Performance, as well as Model Y All-Wheel, Model Y Long Range, and Model Y Performance versions. You'll be shocked to see that now the ID.4 is not eligible, even though it's made in the United States. And this is due to the components of the vehicle, I'm assuming, or maybe the Volkswagen has not submitted the new requirements and specifications of the components. Also, you may have to check the website that the government is using to see what vehicles are eligible, because this could change over time as manufacturers submit their information and get approved for the tax credit. So that's something to keep in mind. Hopefully some of these vehicles that are coming online are going to be eligible in the future. Also, some other vehicles that are not eligible are the Nissan Leaf S, and also the Rivian R1T and R1S are not eligible now, even though these vehicles are also made in the US for the Rivians. One interesting thing to note also is that Mercedes is building the EQE SUV in Alabama, and the car is priced, or the SUV is priced under $80,000 MSRP. The MSRP pricing of the vehicle and its options that are attached to the vehicle have to be less than $80,000. The price of the vehicle does not have to include the destination charges for the eligibility value threshold. So the government website, fueleconomy.gov, has the list of all eligible cars after April 18th, as well as you can see on the list there by clicking one of the tabs that you can see vehicles that were made after December 31st up to April 18th, and you can see which of those vehicles were eligible in the past. Or if you purchase your car during that time frame, you can tell if you're going to be eligible for the tax credit. So I'm going to show you the actual site. I'm going to scroll through it a little bit and show you the information that's provided on it, so you can get an idea of how that works. So please subscribe to Wheels and Wheels so you can stay abreast of all EV changes and information coming up in the future. Thank you so much. So let's go over the website, and I'm going to show you some of the information that's provided on there so you can get an idea of what you can see online. Okay, so let's check it out. So guys, here I wanted to show you the website www.fueleconomy.gov. So this is where you can see if your car is eligible, and it also tells you some information on the eligibility and your adjusted gross income. Also if the car is qualified or not. So before this change after April 18th, you could see December 31st, cars built after December 31st and before April 18th, you can see the vehicles that are listed. There's also some plug-in hybrid electric vehicles that did qualify before, and there's a couple that do qualify now. So here you can see the LYRIQ, the Bolt, you can see some E-Transit, electrified GV70 was here, the Genesis, the Grand Cherokee 4xE, plug-in hybrid. You can see the Leaf is listed here, the Rivian R1S, R1T, the Model 3 long range, performance, and rear-wheel drive. You'll notice that the rear-wheel drive is not on the new eligibility list either. You can also see Volkswagen ID.4 was listed, and some of the Volvo models, the S60 plug-in hybrid electric. Now, if we come back up here and we click on this tab here for vehicle placed in service on or after April 18th, 2023, you see the LYRIQ is here, the Chevy Blazer, the Bolt EUV, Equinox, Silverado. So only EV models we're looking at right now, but you can see the E-Transit is there as well. But that gets only the $3,750 rebate. F-150 Lightning gets the full $7,500 credit. Mustang Mach-E goes down to $3,750. Grand Cherokee plug-in goes down to $3,750. So does the Wrangler. Aviator Grand Touring plug-in hybrid. Oh, you can see it gets the actual full, but it's not a pure electric vehicle. And the Corsa Grand Touring gets a partial $3,750. Tesla Model 3 Performance, you have the $7,500 full credit. The rear wheel drive version only gets $3,750. Model Y all-wheel drive, Model Y long range all-wheel drive, and Model Y Performance all get the full $7,500 credit. So you can see, you can come here to the site and look up vehicles that are eligible and what are the criteria you need to become eligible for this tax credit. I would suggest that you check this site periodically if you're in the market for a new car, so you can get the actual current state of what models are eligible at that time or after it's posted on here. Because manufacturers could come back to the IRS and the government and explain some of their components or change their manufacturing process, and this would change their eligibility on these vehicles. So I hope you liked this video, and I hope you say subscribe to Wheels and Wheels, and I hope to see you again, and thanks for watching.